My name is Mark. I'm 48 years old. And up until 3 weeks ago, I thought I had a solid, reliable life. Not perfect, but good enough to come home to without hesitation. I've been married to Katherine for 12 years. She's 45, works in pharmaceutical sales, always flying somewhere for some summit or product rollout. Her daughter from a previous marriage, Emma, is 22 now. I've raised her since she was 10. Never legally adopted her, but we were close. Or at least, I thought we were. This story doesn't begin with a fight. Or with suspicions. It started with something simple. A garage cleaning. I was clearing out space for a new riding lawnmower. We live in northern Illinois, in a quiet neighborhood where people care way too much about lawns and fence height. 8 years in this house, and I'd never really tackled the back corner of the garage. That's where I found it. A faded gray suitcase. Buried behind Christmas decorations and a stack of old coats. At first, I thought it belonged to Emma. She used to visit her grandparents every summer when she was younger. But the tag said Katherine Monroe. My wife's maiden name. That was strange. She hasn't used that name in over a decade. I dragged it out, expecting clothes. Maybe old family photos. What I didn't expect were the souvenirs. A small Eiffel Tower keychain. A postcard from Dubrovnik. A shot glass from Tulum. A silk scarf from Florence. Now, here's the thing. Katherine never mentioned going to any of those places. Ever. I knew about her New York trips. LA a few times. Vegas for a trade show. But France? Croatia? Italy? Mexico? I'm not dumb. I travel for work too. And I know the kind of crap people bring home when they're hiding something. Guilt gifts. Still, I told myself, and maybe I forgot. Maybe she did go to a European conference. Maybe this was from years ago. But that suitcase, it didn't feel like years ago. The clothes still smelled like her perfume. Expensive. Fresh. Not something that had been sealed in a box for a decade. I wish I could say I asked her calmly that evening. Sat her down, told her what I found, gave her a chance to explain. But I didn't. Instead, I opened her laptop. She keeps it unlocked. Always has. Says she trusts me. And I always thought I trusted her too. That night, while she was in the shower, I opened her email. There it was. A folder. Hidden. Buried beneath promotional folders for work. Labeled, JR Conference Notes. JR, I assumed that was a client. I clicked it open. It wasn't conference notes. It was emails. Hundreds of them. From a man named Renaud. Some were 5 years old. Others were just days old. The oldest ones were innocent enough. Looking forward to seeing you in Geneva. Thanks for dinner. But then they changed. Quickly. I miss you already. When you kissed me outside the museum, I thought my heart would explode. I dreamt of your hair on my pillow last night. And she replied. With equal emotion. Equal intimacy. I couldn't breathe. I scrolled. And scrolled. Until I found a photo. One she had sent him. A selfie. Not nude, but intimate. No makeup. Bathrobe. Hotel room behind her. Caption, thinking of last night. I closed the laptop. I couldn't feel my hands. My wife had a second life. And I had no idea. I wish that was the worst of it. The next morning, I skipped work and started digging. I pulled our credit card statements from the past 3 years. I tracked hotel bookings, flights, Uber rides. She had lied. Again and again. Telling me she was flying to Dallas or Phoenix, when she was actually headed to Madrid. Or Nice. Or Belize. The thing that broke me wasn't the affair itself. It was the detail. The effort. The planning. She would send me fake itineraries. Screenshots of fake meeting invites. One time she even left her suitcase in the car for me to carry, filled with props. Business clothes, a few binders, a fake badge. She was acting like a professional. For 5 years. But it got worse. Way worse. I found messages between her and Emma, my stepdaughter. At first, I thought Emma was oblivious. But in those texts, Katherine was telling her what to say to me. Tell him I called from the airport at 4. Make sure he thinks I'm staying at the Hilton in Dallas. Emma replied with a thumbs up. Sometimes she added a done. She was helping her mom cheat on me. Lying. Repeatedly. I had raised that girl. Paid for her first car. Her braces. Her dorm room. I taught her how to parallel park, how to make pancakes, how to set boundaries with toxic friends. And all that time, she was covering for her mother. When Katherine came home 2 days later from her latest pharma training, I hugged her like nothing was wrong. She smiled at me. Kissed me. And I wondered if she could taste the betrayal on my lips. I said nothing that night. Or the next. I watched her closely. Every movement. Every blink. Trying to understand how someone could be this good at lying. Then, I made a plan. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to break anything. I was going to break them. All of them. But first, I needed proof. More than emails. More than receipts. Because when I burned this bridge, I wanted to collapse with them still standing on it. I didn't sleep that night. I just sat in the dark, in my office, with the laptop open, reading every message over and over. Renaud. Even his name sounded smug. French. Charming. Probably the kind of guy who wears scarves indoors and quotes poetry over wine. I couldn't believe it. 5 years. That's how long this had been going on. I started tracing their timeline. Piecing it together. Like a detective who didn't want to be right. The first meeting? A conference in Montreal. 6 years ago. Back then, it was innocent. They exchanged emails about a panel discussion. The following year, Barcelona. They had dinner. I found a receipt for paella and wine. The year after that? Rome. Then Zurich. Then Morocco. She wasn't attending conferences. She was building memories. With him. Meanwhile, I was home fixing the dishwasher. Running to Target for laundry detergent. Picking up Emma from school. She was sipping champagne in Paris. He called her Mon Ciel. My sky. And she called him my calm before the storm. It made me sick. But I wasn't done. I started looking through cloud backups. Old phone data. Deleted messages. And that's when I hit gold. A recording. It was 2 years old. Katherine must have hit record by accident. Or maybe Emma did. I don't know. But I listened. And I heard them. Katherine and Emma. Talking. In our kitchen. Emma was about 20 at the time. She said, "Mom, you gonna get caught." Katherine replied, "Not if you help me." Emma hesitated. But Mark's, he's been good to us. Katherine, I know. But he wouldn't understand. This is just something I need. Emma, I don't want to lie to him. Katherine, laughing, then don't lie. Just, don't say anything. They were whispering. Laughing. Like it was some harmless secret. Not the destruction of a man's trust. Not the betrayal of someone who gave them everything. I paused the recording. I looked around the kitchen. Same counter. Same chairs. That moment happened, right here. I could still hear their voices echoing in my head. I felt sick. But not weak. This wasn't going to break me. It was going to build me. I made a copy of the recording. Sent it to a secure drive. Then I printed the emails. The statements. The hotel bookings. The fake itineraries. I put them all in a folder. Labeled it, A Truth. I was going to drop that folder like a bomb. But timing mattered. So I waited. 2 more days. Pretending everything was normal. Katherine had no idea. She laughed at dinner. Told me some story about a client who couldn't pronounce naproxen. I smiled. Nodded. Pretended I wasn't counting the hours until I'd burn her world to the ground. Then Emma came home. She walked in like nothing had happened. Hey, Mark, she said. Dinner smells good. I nodded. She went upstairs, probably texting her friends. Or him. Or her mom. Who knows? That night, I stared at the ceiling for hours. I thought about all the birthdays I planned. All the bills I paid. All the tiny sacrifices I made to keep this family afloat. And I thought, how do you punish someone who doesn't even think they've done anything wrong? Answer. You don't punish them. You reveal them. You hold up a mirror. And let them destroy themselves. The next day, I made arrangements. Called a lawyer. A damn good one. Asked about the house. The accounts. The rights I had. Then I called Katherine's office. Said I was verifying her travel schedule for a surprise anniversary plan. They sent me the real one. Not the fake itinerary she gave me. That was all I needed. 3 hours later, she came home early. Said the meeting got cancelled. I said nothing. I just handed her the folder. She looked confused. What's this? Read it, I said. She opened it. Saw the emails. The receipts. The hotel photos. The voice recording, transcribed. Her face went pale. Mark, she started. I raised my hand. Don't. She sat down. Silent. Her hands trembled. Tears welled up. I didn't mean to hurt you, she said. I didn't respond. She said, it started as just friendship. I was lonely. You were always working. Emma was in high school. I felt invisible. I stayed quiet. She kept talking. I know I should have stopped. But Renaud, he listened. He made me feel. Wanted? I interrupted. She nodded. I laughed. Cold. Do you want him now? I asked. What? Pack your things, I said. Go be wanted. She sobbed. I didn't mean to fall in love with him. I still love you. No, you don't, I said. You love comfort. And control. And getting away with it. Then I turned to the stairs. And called out. Emma. Downstairs. No. She came down, confused. Saw her mom crying. Looked at me. What's going on? You tell me, I said. Or should I play the recording for you too? Her face changed instantly. All the blood drained. She whispered, you know. I know everything, I said. She looked at her mom. I didn't want to lie, she said. She made me promise. You had a choice, I said. Every day. You had a choice. Emma started crying. Real tears. Or maybe just fear. I didn't care. I turned to Katherine. You leaving? Tonight. I turned to Emma. You've got 48 hours to find somewhere to stay. She gasped. What? Mark, please. Don't, I snapped. Don't call me that. Dad, she whispered. Please. I didn't mean. I'm not your father, I said. And you're not my family anymore. Katherine tried to speak. I walked away. Straight upstairs. Grabbed her suitcase. The same one I'd found in the garage. Threw it on the bed. Started packing her things. Not angrily. Not violently. Efficiently. Like taking out the trash. This wasn't a rage move. This was clarity. When I came back down, I placed the suitcase by the door. Katherine stood up slowly. Mascara down her cheeks. She looked 20 years older. But I felt 20 years lighter. Go, I said. And she did. Emma stood there, shaking. I didn't even look at her. I walked past. Into the kitchen. Closed the door. And finally, I breathed. For the first time in years. I didn't sleep that night either. But this time, it wasn't rage. It was silence. The kind of silence that sits in your chest like a brick. You don't cry. You don't scream. You just exist. I stared at the ceiling for hours. Listening to the ticking clock. Listening to the emptiness of a house that used to feel alive. It was strange. Peaceful. And horrifying at the same time. Katherine was gone. Emma was still upstairs. I heard her crying around 2 a.m. I didn't move. Didn't check on her. She wasn't my problem anymore. She wasn't my daughter. Not after what I found. The next morning, I made coffee. Same way I always do. Black. 1 scoop too strong. Habit. Muscle memory. But everything else felt unfamiliar. I sat in the kitchen alone. Staring at the chair where Katherine used to sit every morning. Hair wrapped in a towel. Scrolling through her phone. Was she texting him then too? Telling Renaud how she couldn't wait to see him again? Was I just background noise in my own house? Emma came down around 10. Eyes red. Voice low. Can we talk? I didn't respond. She sat across from me. Silent for a few seconds. Then she whispered, I'm sorry. I took a sip of coffee. Waited. She kept going. I didn't know how to stop it. Mom made me promise not to tell you. She said she'd end it. That it was just a phase. A 5-year phase, I said. Emma looked down. I was scared, she said. I didn't want to lose this family. I didn't want to lose you. I finally looked her in the eyes. And I asked, calmly, when you hugged me, when you said, I love you, Dad, were you lying? Her lip trembled. No, she said. Never. I meant it every time. Then why didn't you protect me? She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. Do you know what it's like, I said, to be the last person in the room to realize they've been played? She started crying again. I didn't think it would go on this long. It always goes on, I said. Until someone ends it. And that someone wasn't you. It was me. I stood up. I meant what I said, I told her. You leaving? Please, she begged. Just let me stay until the end of the week. I have nowhere to go. You have your mother, I said. Go to her. Be her daughter again. I'm done playing that role. She reached out. Tried to touch my hand. I stepped back. Not out of anger. Out of exhaustion. You need to pack, I said. You've got 24 hours now. And I walked out. Went straight to the bank. Closed our joint accounts. Every last dollar. $842,000. Half of that was mine. The rest? Consider it damages. I wasn't going to let her, or him, touch a cent of it. I opened a new account. In my name only. Transferred everything. Clean slate. That afternoon, Katherine's sister called. Left a voicemail. You being cruel, Mark. She made a mistake. Don't throw away 12 years over this. 12 years. Like it was just spilled milk. Then her mother called. Said I had no right to take the money. That I was punishing Emma for something she didn't do. Didn't do? She lied to me. Covered for her mother. Over and over. That's not innocent. That's complicity. I turned my phone off. Didn't want to hear any more voices trying to make me the villain. That evening, Emma left. One small suitcase. One backpack. She didn't say goodbye. And I didn't stop her. She closed the door quietly behind her. And the house became mine again. Empty. Quiet. But finally honest. I sat on the couch with the folder in my lap. The one labeled Truth. Read through it again. Every message. Every receipt. Every piece of proof. I wanted to make sure I hadn't imagined it all. But no. It was real. The worst part? I think she loved him. I really do. Not just lust. Not just distraction. She built a second life with him. Photos. Letters. Inside jokes. I was the backup plan. The fallback. The man who made the mortgage disappear. I wasn't angry anymore. I was clear. Like the fog had lifted. I called my lawyer the next day. Told him to start the paperwork. No alimony. No split assets. We fight. He said it wouldn't be easy. I told him I didn't care. Let her lawyer come. Let them scream. Let them threaten. She can have her scarves and postcards. I'm keeping my peace. A few nights later, I got an email. From Emma. Subject line, please read. I opened it. It was long. Apologies. Memories. Photos of us from years ago. Her first bike ride. Her high school graduation. The birthday party I threw when she turned 16. She wrote, I know I lost your trust. And maybe I don't deserve to be your daughter anymore. But you were the only real father I ever had. I'm sorry I broke that. I don't expect you to forgive me. I just wanted you to know that I'll always be grateful. Always. I didn't reply. I couldn't. Because every time I thought about the love I gave her, I remembered the moment she chose silence. The moment she left me in the dark. I didn't reply to Emma's email. I read it. Twice. Then I archived it. Not deleted. Just buried. Like a body you're not quite ready to forget. That week, I did something I hadn't done in years. I took a vacation. Alone. Flew to Montana. Rented a cabin near Flathead Lake. No phone. No laptop. Just trees. Silence. An air that didn't smell like lies. I hiked. Fished. Sat by the fire at night. And thought. Not about Katherine. Not even about Emma. About myself. Who I used to be. Who I had become. And what I needed to do next. Because this wasn't over. Not even close. See, people like Katherine, they don't stop unless you make them. They rebuild. They manipulate. They rewrite the story. I wasn't going to let her do that. I gave her 12 years. She gave me 5 years of deceit. No. I was going to take something back. Not money. Not revenge for the sake of blood. I was going to erase the lie. Publicly. Effortlessly. Legally. And permanently. When I came back from Montana, I met with my lawyer again. Told him everything I had. Every email. Every timestamp. Every audio file. He looked at me like he wasn't sure if I was a genius or a madman. I said, both. Probably. He laughed. But he agreed to proceed. Step 1, freeze. We locked down every asset. Every investment. Every joint account I'd missed. Filed an emergency motion to prevent withdrawal or transfer of funds. Why? Because I knew something she didn't. She was planning to flee. How did I know? I checked the shared iCloud account I set up back in 2018. She forgot I still had access. There it was. A photo of a condo in Lisbon. A screenshot of a wire transfer form. A folder titled, "A Next Chapter." So she thought she'd start over in Portugal. With Renaud. Not on my dime. Step 2, exposure. I wrote a formal report. Anonymous. Sent it to her employer's compliance department. Detailed every fake business trip. Every falsified receipt. Included her email exchanges with Renaud. Even attached screenshots showing how she expensed personal vacations as client dinners. Within 48 hours, I got confirmation. She was suspended. 2 days later, terminated. Step 3, a professional destruction. I contacted 3 key clients I knew she worked with. Didn't tell them anything illegal. Just warned them that her behavior might be investigated soon. That maybe they should check their books. They pulled out. All 3. Her reputation? Gone. She wasn't just unemployed. She was radioactive. No pharma company in the state would touch her. Step 4, Renaud. Oh yeah. It was time. I waited until I had everything. Then I mailed him a package. Printed copies of Katherine's emails. Photos of us together. Wedding photos. Family Christmas cards. All the things she never told him. On top, a note. Here's the woman you risked your marriage for. Because yeah, turns out he was married too. With kids. I didn't even need to dig that deep. Just a Google search. A LinkedIn profile. His wife's Instagram. Picture perfect family. Until now. I don't know what happened after that. But Katherine stopped trying to contact me shortly after. No more begging emails. No more voice messages. Just silence. Delicious, peaceful silence. The only message I did get was from her sister. Another voicemail. You didn't just ruin her career. You ruined her life. She said it like I was supposed to feel bad. I don't. She wanted to be free. So I cut her loose. Let her drift into the mess she created. No more lies. No more comfort zone. Just consequences. But the part that hurt the most? Emma. She didn't reach out again. Didn't call. Didn't text. She disappeared. And a part of me wanted that. But another part kept checking my inbox. Hoping. Stupid, I know. Maybe I still wanted closure. Or maybe I just missed hearing someone call me Dad. But she stayed silent. And eventually, I stopped waiting.